Welcome to my channel. Today I want to start with a simple but powerful question. Do you control your thoughts? Or do your thoughts control you? Most people never stop to think about this. They live each day without realizing how much their thoughts shape their mood, their actions, and their future. Imagine this. You wake up in the morning. Before your feet even touch the floor, your mind is already full of voices. I'm so tired. I have so much to do. What if today goes wrong? What if I fail? These thoughts just appear. You didn't invite them. You didn't choose them. Yet, without even noticing, you start believing them. And the moment you do, your energy drops, your mood changes, and the day feels heavy before it even begins. This is the reality for most people. Their thoughts run on autopilot. They feel anxious, tired, or stuck, not because something bad is actually happening, but because of the thoughts their mind is producing. They don't realize that these thoughts are not always true. They don't realize they have the power to choose what to believe and what to let go. Here's a secret that many people never learn. Your life doesn't only change when your circumstances change. Your life changes when your thinking changes. You can have money, success, or comfort on the outside and still feel empty and restless if your thinking is negative. On the other hand, you can face challenges, setbacks, or struggles and still feel strong, clear, and hopeful if your thinking is healthy. But here's the problem. Most people believe that correct thinking is something you're either born with or not. They assume some people are naturally positive, confident, and peaceful, while others are doomed to live with doubt, fear, and confusion. But that's not true. Correct thinking is not a gift. It's a skill. Just like learning to read, write, or ride a bicycle, it's something you can learn, practice, and master. Think about this. When you were a child, you didn't know how to write your name. Someone had to teach you. At first, it felt strange. Your letters were messy. But with practice, you got better. Eventually, it became natural. The same is true for your mind. At first, learning to control your thoughts may feel unfamiliar. But with practice, it becomes easier and, eventually, it becomes your new way of living. This is why I want to invite you to join me on a journey. Today, I'm going to guide you step by step on how to think in a way that brings clarity when life feels confusing, confidence when fear appears, and peace when everything feels heavy. These are not abstract ideas. These are practical steps that anyone, including you, can take. Let me explain why this is so important. Imagine your mind as a lens, like a pair of glasses. If your glasses are dirty, everything you see looks unclear and unpleasant. The world hasn't changed. The sun still shines, the sky is still blue, and opportunities are still around you. But through dirty glasses, you can't see them. Your vision is covered with dust. That's exactly what happens when your mind is filled with negative thinking. Life itself is not as dark as it feels. It's just that your lens is clouded. But here's the good news. You don't have to keep wearing dirty glasses. You can clean them. You can learn to clear your thinking. When you do, life looks brighter. Opportunities become visible, and challenges feel lighter. The outside world may not change overnight, but your experience of it will change completely. Another way to think about it is like a radio. Your mind is always playing something in the background. Sometimes it's music that lifts you up. Sometimes it's noise that pulls you down. Most people don't realize they can change the station. They just keep listening, even when the noise makes them feel terrible. But once you learn that you hold the remote, you gain control. You can switch from fear to courage, from doubt to hope, from confusion to clarity. That's the power of correct thinking. It doesn't mean you'll never have a bad day. It doesn't mean you'll never feel worried or sad again. It means that when those feelings show up, you'll know how to handle them. You'll know how to step back, observe your thoughts, and choose which ones to believe. And that skill alone can completely change your life. Let me ask you again. Do you control your thoughts, or do your thoughts control you? If your answer right now is, "My thoughts control me," don't feel discouraged. That's how most people live. But the fact that you are listening to this right now is proof that you are ready to change. You are ready to take back control. Here's what I promise you. If you stay with me until the end of this video, you will discover simple, clear steps that can help you think in a way that makes your life lighter, clearer, and more powerful. Even one small shift in your thinking, just one new way of seeing your thoughts, can create a ripple effect that changes everything. So today, I'm not asking you to believe me right away. I'm asking you to stay curious, to keep an open mind, and to try the steps I'm about to share, because once you experience the difference for yourself, you'll never look at your thoughts the same way again. This journey is not about becoming perfect. It's not about forcing yourself to only think happy thoughts. It's about learning how to manage your mind so that it works for you, not against you. It's about choosing clarity instead of confusion, courage instead of fear, and peace instead of stress. And remember this, your thoughts are not who you are. They are just passing clouds. You are the sky, vast, strong, and unchanging. When you understand this, you unlock a new level of freedom in your life. So take a deep breath, settle in, because we are about to begin the journey of learning how to think correctly. And once you do, I promise, you will never live the same way again. Chapter 1. Why most people think wrong. Most people live their entire life without ever learning how to think correctly. It's not their fault. In school, we are taught how to read, how to write, and how to solve math problems. But no one sits us down and says, "Here is how to use your mind in the right way." Because of this, most people grow up and spend their whole lives thinking on autopilot. What does autopilot mean? It means your mind is running without your control. Thoughts come and go, and you follow them without question. Imagine waking up in the morning. The first thing you hear in your head is, "I'm so tired. I have too much to do today. What if I mess everything up?" These thoughts show up before you've even had breakfast. You didn't choose them. They just appeared. But the moment you believe them, your mood drops. You feel heavy, worried, and unmotivated. Suddenly, the whole day feels difficult before it has even started. This is what happens when wrong thinking controls you. And here's the truth. If you are not controlling your thoughts, then your thoughts are controlling you. Think of wrong thinking like wearing dirty glasses. If your glasses are covered in dust and fingerprints, the world will look cloudy, dark, and unpleasant. But the truth is, the world hasn't changed. The sun is still shining. The sky is still blue. The people around you are the same. It's only your lens that is dirty. In the same way, when your mind is filled with negativity, doubt, and fear, life itself feels worse than it really is. You stop noticing the good things happening around you. You miss opportunities because your vision is blocked. Here's something most people don't realize. Your thoughts are not facts. Just because you think something doesn't mean it's true. Thoughts are like little clouds passing through the sky of your mind. Some are light and soft. Others are dark and heavy, but none of them stay forever. If you think, "I'm not good enough," that doesn't make it true. It only means a negative thought has appeared. You can choose to believe it, or you can choose to let it pass. But sadly, most people don't know this. They believe every thought that comes into their head. If the thought is positive, they feel happy. If the thought is negative, they feel sad, anxious, or angry. They are like a small boat in the middle of the ocean, being tossed around by every wave. One moment they are up, the next moment they are down, all because they have given away control to their thoughts. And remember this, your thoughts are not who you are. They are just passing clouds. You are the sky, vast, strong, and unchanging. When you understand this, you unlock a new level of freedom in your life. So, take a deep breath, settle in, because we are about to begin the journey of learning how to think correctly. And once you do, I promise, you will never live the same way again. Chapter 1. Why Most People Think Wrong. Most people live their entire life without ever learning how to think correctly. It's not their fault. In school, we are taught how to read, how to write, and how to solve math problems, but no one sits us down and says, "Here is how to use your mind in the right way." Because of this, most people grow up and spend their whole lives thinking on autopilot. What does autopilot mean? It means your mind is running without your control. Thoughts come and go, and you follow them without question. Imagine waking up in the morning. The first thing you hear in your head is, "I'm so tired. I have too much to do today. What if I mess everything up?" These thoughts show up before you've even had breakfast. You didn't choose them. They just appeared. But the moment you believe them, your mood drops. You feel heavy, worried, and unmotivated. Suddenly, the whole day feels difficult before it has even started. This is what happens when wrong thinking controls you. And here's the truth. If you are not controlling your thoughts, then your thoughts are controlling you. Think of wrong thinking like wearing dirty glasses. If your glasses are covered in dust and fingerprints, the world will look cloudy, dark, and unpleasant. But the truth is, the world hasn't changed. The sun is still shining, the sky is still blue, the people around you are the same. It's only your lens that is dirty. In the same way, when your mind is filled with negativity, doubt, and fear, life itself feels worse than it really is. You stop noticing the good things happening around you. You miss opportunities because your vision is blocked. Here's something most people don't realize. Your thoughts are not facts. Just because you think something doesn't mean it's true. Thoughts are like little clouds passing through the sky of your mind. Some are light and soft, others are dark and heavy, but none of them stay forever. If you think, "I'm not good enough," that doesn't make it true. It only means a negative thought has appeared. You can choose to believe it, or you can choose to let it pass. But sadly, most people don't know this. They believe every thought that comes into their head. If the thought is positive, they feel happy. If the thought is negative, they feel sad, anxious, or angry. They are like a small boat in the middle of the ocean, being tossed around by every wave. One moment they are up, the next moment they are down, all because they have given away control to their thoughts. Let's make this even simpler. Imagine your mind is a radio station. It is always playing something. Sometimes it plays music that makes you feel good. Sometimes it plays noise that makes you feel bad. The problem is most people don't realize they can change the station. They just sit there listening to whatever comes on, even if it makes them feel miserable. This is why most people live with stress, anxiety, and fear. Not because life is always bad, but because their thinking is always untrained. They never stop to ask, is this thought a fact or just a passing idea? And because they don't ask, they believe everything. The first step to correct thinking is awareness. You need to notice when a thought appears and ask yourself, is this true? Or is this just a thought? If it's just a thought, you don't have to follow it. You can let it pass, like a cloud moving across the sky. This is where your real power begins. The moment you realize that you are not forced to believe every thought, your life starts to change. You gain control over your mind, and when you control your mind, you begin to control your life. So remember this: most people think the wrong way, not because they are weak or broken, but because no one ever taught them how to think correctly. But now you know the truth. And once you see this, you can never unsee it. Chapter 2. The Truth About Your Mind. Your mind is the most powerful tool you will ever own. It is more powerful than any machine, any computer, or any technology in the world. But here's the problem. Most people don't know how to use it. Imagine buying the most expensive smartphone but never learning how to use the settings. You would only use a tiny part of what it can do. That's exactly what happens with the human mind. People live their whole lives using only a small piece of its real power. Let's begin with something very important. Your mind is not your enemy. Many people believe their mind is against them because they are always stressed, worried, or anxious. But the truth is, your mind is simply untrained. Think of it like a wild horse. A wild horse is strong, fast, and full of energy, but without training, it runs in random directions. It can even hurt you. However, once trained, that same horse becomes your best friend. It carries you far, it protects you, and it works with you. Your mind is the same. If it is wild, it controls you. If it is trained, it serves you. The first truth you must understand is this: your mind listens to everything you say and think. Every word you speak, every belief you hold, every picture you imagine, your mind accepts it as a command. If you constantly say, "I'm tired," "I'm unlucky," "I can't do this," your mind doesn't argue. It doesn't ask, "Are you sure?" It simply obeys. It starts looking for proof to support your words. Soon you really do feel tired, unlucky, and powerless. But if you say, "I am strong, I am learning, I can handle this," your mind also accepts those commands. It begins to search for ways to make them true. This means your mind is like fertile soil. Whatever seed you plant, whether good or bad, it will grow. If you plant seeds of fear, doubt, and negativity, you will harvest stress and failure. If you plant seeds of confidence, gratitude, and positivity, you will harvest success and peace. The soil doesn't choose the seed. You do. The second truth is this: your mind cannot tell the difference between imagination and reality. For example, imagine biting into a sour lemon right now. Picture the yellow skin, the sharp smell, the juice dripping down your hand. Can you feel your mouth watering? That's because your mind believes the picture you gave it, even though no lemon is in front of you. This is why athletes visualize their success before competing. They train their mind to believe in victory, and the body follows. The third truth is, your mind is always working, whether you guide it or not. Just like your heart beats without you thinking about it. Your mind produces thoughts all day long. You cannot stop it from working, but you can guide it. It's like steering a car. The engine will run anyway, but you decide whether it drives toward your goals or away from them. If you let the car roll without steering, it will crash. If you take the wheel, you decide the destination. Here's another important truth: your mind becomes whatever you feed it. If you spend hours watching negative news, gossip, or toxic conversations, don't be surprised if your mind feels heavy and anxious. If you feed your mind with uplifting books, inspiring talks, and positive people, you will notice your thoughts becoming lighter and more powerful. Just like your body changes depending on the food you eat, your mind changes depending on the information you consume. Finally, the most powerful truth of all, your mind creates your reality. The way you think determines the way you feel. The way you feel determines the way you act. And the way you act determines the results you get in life. If you believe you can learn English, you will take action, practice more, and improve. If you believe you cannot, you will avoid practice, make excuses, and stay stuck. The outside world is simply a reflection of your inner world. So never forget, your mind is not against you. It is your greatest tool, your strongest ally, but it needs guidance. If you take control of it, it will take you anywhere you want to go. If you ignore it, it will take you anywhere by accident. The truth about your mind is simple. It is always listening, always working, and always creating. You hold the power to decide what it listens to, where it works, and what it creates. Chapter 3. The Power of Belief. Belief is invisible, but it shapes everything you do. It is like the wind. You cannot see it, but you can see its effect on the trees, on the water, and on the world around you. In the same way, you cannot hold belief in your hand, but you can see its power in the results of your life. What you believe about yourself, about others, and about life itself becomes your reality. Think about this. Every great achievement in history started with belief. The airplane was born because two brothers, the Wright brothers, believed humans could fly. The light bulb exists because Thomas Edison believed he could create it, even after thousands of failures. Great leaders, inventors, athletes, and thinkers all began with one thing: belief. Without it, no action would have meaning. With it, even impossible things become possible. Now let's bring this truth closer to your own life. If you believe you are smart, your mind looks for proof that you are smart. You study harder, you solve problems with confidence, and you keep trying until you succeed. But if you believe you are stupid, your mind also looks for proof of that. You avoid challenges, you give up quickly, and you accept failure too easily. Notice that the situation is the same. The difference is only belief. Belief works like a pair of glasses. If your glasses are dirty, you see the world as dark and unclear, even though the world is not actually that way. If your glasses are clean, everything looks bright and sharp. Your belief is the lens through which you see life. Change the lens, and the whole picture changes. Here's a powerful example. In the world of sports, many athletes talk about the inner game. They say the hardest battle is not with the opponent, but with their own mind. A runner who believes they are too slow will never run their best race. A player who believes they cannot win will lose before the game even begins. But when belief changes, performance changes. That's why coaches spend so much time training the mind, not just the body. Now let's connect this to learning English. Many students fail not because they lack talent, but because they lack belief. They say to themselves, "English is too hard. I will never speak fluently." With that belief, they avoid speaking. They don't practice enough, and they feel nervous every time they try. The result? They stay stuck. But another student may say, "I know it's difficult, but I can learn. Step by step, I will improve." That belief gives them courage to practice. It helps them try again after mistakes. Slowly, but surely, they become fluent. Same situation, different belief, completely different outcome. The most important truth is this: your belief is a choice. You may think beliefs are fixed, but they are not. You can choose to believe in your strength even if you feel weak today. You can choose to believe in your future, even if your present is difficult. You can choose to believe in success even if you have failed many times. Every time you make that choice, your mind begins to build a new reality. But here is something very important. Belief grows stronger with evidence. If you believe you can improve, take one small action that proves it. Speak one sentence in English today. Read one page. Listen to one short audio. That small action becomes evidence, and evidence strengthens belief. Tomorrow you do a little more. Soon your belief is no longer just an idea, it is backed by real progress. There is also a danger. Negative beliefs can control your life if you let them. If you believe, I am unlucky, nothing good ever happens to me, your mind will focus only on the bad things. You will ignore the good moments, and soon your life will seem darker than it really is. This is why it's so important to challenge your beliefs. Ask yourself, is this belief helping me or hurting me? If it hurts, replace it. So remember this. Belief is not just a thought. It is the seed of your future. If you plant strong, positive beliefs, you will harvest strength, confidence, and success. If you plant weak, negative beliefs, you will harvest fear, doubt, and regret. The choice is always yours. Your life will rise or fall according to your beliefs. Believe in your strength, and you will find it. Believe in your growth, and you will see it. Believe in your future, and you will create it. That is the true power of belief. Chapter 4. Controlling your inner voice. Inside your mind, there is a voice. It speaks to you all the time. Sometimes it whispers, sometimes it shouts, and sometimes it never stops talking. That voice is your inner voice. It tells you what to do, how to feel, and what to believe about yourself. It can be your best friend, or it can be your worst enemy. Think about the last time you made a mistake. What did your inner voice say? Did it say, "It's okay. Mistakes are part of learning. You can try again"? Or did it say, "You're so stupid. You will never get this right"? That difference makes a huge impact on your life. Your inner voice can either lift you up or push you down. Many people do not realize how powerful this inner voice is. It controls emotions, decisions, and confidence. If your inner voice is negative, you will always feel weak, nervous, and afraid. But if your inner voice is positive, you will feel strong, calm, and motivated. The voice may be invisible, but its power is real. Here's the truth. You cannot always control the world outside, but you can control the voice inside. Life may give you problems, people may criticize you, and situations may test you. But in the middle of all that, your inner voice decides whether you give up or keep going. Imagine two students learning English. Both forget words while speaking. The first student's inner voice says, "See? I'm terrible at this. I should stop trying." The second student's inner voice says, "It's okay. Everyone forgets words. I'll try again." Same problem. Different voice, completely different result. One quits, the other grows. So how do you control your inner voice? The first step is awareness. Pay attention. Listen carefully to what that voice is saying. When you make a mistake, when you fail, when you feel afraid, what words do you hear? Do they sound like a friend, or do they sound like an enemy? Awareness is the beginning of change. The second step is replacement. You cannot just silence your inner voice, but you can replace negative words with positive ones. If your inner voice says, "I can't do this," replace it with, "I will try step by step." If it says, "I'm not good enough," replace it with, "I am improving every day." At first, it may feel strange, but over time, your brain learns the new pattern. The third step is repetition. Your inner voice has been trained by years of habits. One positive thought will not change it forever. You must repeat the new voice again and again until it becomes natural. Just like learning a new language, training your inner voice takes practice and time. But the more you repeat it, the stronger it becomes. Another important truth: your inner voice often copies the voices around you. If you spend time with negative people, your inner voice becomes negative. If you spend time with supportive, positive people, your inner voice becomes positive. This is why environment matters. Choose people, books, and messages that lift you up. Protect your mind the same way you protect your body. Your inner voice is also connected to self-talk. Talking to yourself in a healthy way is not foolish, it is powerful. Athletes do it before big games, speakers do it before going on stage, students do it before exams. They say, "I am ready. I can do this. I will succeed." Those words are fuel for the mind. If you fill your mind with strength, you will act with strength. Remember this: life is not only about what happens to you, but about what you say to yourself when it happens. A failure can break you, or it can build you. The difference lies in your inner voice. Train it to be your coach, not your critic. Train it to be your supporter, not your enemy. So whenever you hear that negative voice telling you to quit, stop and hide. Answer it with a stronger voice. Tell yourself, "I am learning, I am growing, I am not perfect, but I am improving every day." These words may seem small, but repeated again and again, they can change your confidence, your choices, and your future. Your inner voice is the driver of your life. If the driver is angry, lost, or careless, the journey will be painful. But if the driver is calm, focused, and hopeful, the journey will be meaningful. Take control of that driver. Train it. Guide it. Because once you control your inner voice, you control your destiny. Chapter 5. The Value of Consistency. There is one habit that separates successful learners from those who give up. That habit is consistency. Many people believe talent or intelligence creates success, but in reality, it is the simple act of showing up again and again that makes the difference. Consistency is more powerful than motivation, more reliable than talent, and more important than speed. Think about water falling on a rock. A single drop does nothing. But if water keeps falling every day, year after year, it can cut through stone. That is the power of consistency. Small actions repeated over time create results that look impossible in the beginning. When you decide to learn English, you may feel excited on the first day. You watch videos, read books, or practice speaking. But excitement fades. After a week, you may feel tired. After a month, you may feel bored. This is where most people quit. They believe they need big progress every day. But the truth is, small progress, done daily, beats big progress done once in a while. Let's imagine two students. The first studies for 5 hours one day, then takes a break for a week. The second studies only 20 minutes every day. After 1 month, who is stronger? The second student. Because learning is not about how much you do in one day, but about what you keep doing every day. Consistency builds habits, and habits build success. Consistency is like planting seeds. If you water the plant every day, it grows slowly but surely. If you water it only once in a while, it dies. Your mind is the same. It needs regular practice. A little bit every day keeps it alive, growing, and strong. Now, you may ask, how do I become consistent? The answer is, make it simple and small. Do not wait for the perfect time. Do not set impossible goals. Start with just 5 minutes. Read 1 page, learn 1 new word, speak 1 sentence. The goal is not to be perfect. The goal is to keep going. Once consistency becomes a habit, time will multiply your effort. Another secret is routine. If you attach your English practice to something you already do daily, it becomes natural. For example, listen to English while walking, practice speaking after brushing your teeth, or write one sentence before sleeping. By connecting practice with daily life, you make it easier to stay consistent. Discipline also supports consistency. Motivation may inspire you for a moment, but discipline keeps you moving when motivation is gone. Discipline is simply reminding yourself, this is important. I will do it no matter how I feel. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, your discipline grows stronger. But remember, consistency is not about never missing a day. Life happens. Sometimes you are sick, busy, or tired. That's okay. What matters is not perfection. It's returning as soon as possible. Missing one day will not hurt you. Missing many days and then giving up will. The real power is in coming back again and again. Another truth? Consistency brings confidence. Each time you practice, you build proof that you are serious, that you can continue, and that you will not quit. Even if progress is slow, the habit itself becomes a source of strength. You no longer wonder, can I do this? Because your daily action already shows the answer. Yes, I can. In learning English, consistency beats intensity. 10 minutes every day is better than 2 hours once a week. Your brain learns best when it receives regular practice, not when it is overloaded with information. Just like exercise, daily effort keeps the muscles strong. Stop moving, and the muscles become weak. Practice daily, and they become powerful. So, do not chase speed. Do not compare yourself to others. Focus on building the habit of consistency. Day by day, step by step, you will improve. It may feel slow in the beginning, but one day you will look back and see how far you have come. That distance will not be from one big effort. It will be from many small, consistent steps. Remember this rule. Consistency is the bridge between dreams and reality. Without it, dreams remain dreams. With it, dreams become achievements. So decide today, no matter how small the step, I will take it every day. No matter how slow the progress, I will not stop. Because consistency is the secret key that unlocks success. Chapter 6. Breaking the Fear of Mistakes. One of the biggest barriers in learning English is fear. Fear of speaking. Fear of being wrong. Fear of people laughing. Many learners stay silent even when they know the words because they are afraid of mistakes. This fear becomes a prison. It keeps their voice locked inside. But let me tell you a secret. Mistakes are not your enemy. Mistakes are your teachers. Without mistakes, there is no learning. Think about a child learning to walk. The child falls many times, but no one says, "You failed." Everyone smiles, helps the child up, and encourages them to try again. In the same way, when you make mistakes in English, it is not failure, it is a step towards success. Every great speaker, every fluent person you admire once made mistakes. They spoke with broken sentences, wrong grammar, and strange pronunciation. But they did not stop. They kept speaking. And because they were not afraid of mistakes, they grew. The truth is simple. If you avoid mistakes, you avoid learning. If you accept mistakes, you move forward. Fear of mistakes often comes from judgment. We imagine people will laugh at us or think we are not smart. But here is the reality. Most people respect you for trying. When they hear you speaking a language that is not your own, they admire your courage. And even if someone does laugh, remember this. Their laughter does not define you. Your effort does. You must also understand that mistakes are feedback. Each mistake shows you where to improve. If you say the wrong word and someone corrects you, that correction becomes a lesson. Without the mistake, you would never learn it. So mistakes are like arrows pointing the way to growth. Instead of fearing them, you should welcome them. Think about scientists. They experiment, fail, and try again. Each failure is part of discovery. If they were afraid of being wrong, we would never have new inventions. In the same way, your mistakes are experiments in language. Each one teaches you something new. So how do we break the fear? The first step is to change your mindset. Instead of saying, I made a mistake, say, I learned something new. Replace shame with curiosity. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? When you do this, mistakes lose their power to scare you. The second step is practice. The more you speak, the less you fear. At first, fear feels strong. Your heart beats fast. Your voice shakes. But after many attempts, fear becomes weaker. You realize nothing terrible happens. People understand you, or they help you, and life continues. Slowly, confidence replaces fear. The third step is self-compassion. Do not be hard on yourself. Do not expect perfection. Speak with kindness to yourself. Remind yourself, I am learning, I am growing, I am allowed to make mistakes. This inner kindness gives you the courage to keep trying. Another helpful tool is community. If you surround yourself with supportive people, your fear will shrink. Find friends, teachers, or groups where mistakes are welcomed, not judged. In a safe space, you will feel free to speak, experiment, and improve. Remember also that native speakers make mistakes too. They forget words, mispronounce names, or mix grammar. But they do not stop speaking. Why should you? If mistakes are natural for them, they are natural for you as well. Over time, as you accept mistakes, something amazing happens. You begin to enjoy the process. Instead of worrying about perfection, you focus on communication. You realize the goal is not to speak perfectly, but to be understood. And with each conversation, your confidence grows. So let this truth guide you. Fear of mistakes is more dangerous than the mistakes themselves. Mistakes cannot stop you, but fear can. If you remove fear, nothing can hold you back. Speak bravely, learn openly, make mistakes proudly. Because each mistake is not the end, it is the beginning of progress. Final message: your voice, your journey. Now, as we come to the end of this lesson, I want you to remember one important truth. Learning English is not just about grammar, vocabulary, or pronunciation. It is about courage. It is about finding your voice and using it without fear. Many people study for years, yet they never speak. Why? Because they wait for perfection. They wait until they know every rule, every word, every sound. But perfection never comes. What truly matters is progress, not perfection. You do not need to be perfect to speak. You only need to be willing. Willing to open your mouth, willing to share your thoughts, willing to make mistakes and learn from them. If you have the courage to try, you are already ahead of most learners. Remember, English is not an exam you pass once and forget. It is a living skill, something you build day by day, step by step. Think about this. Every time you say a word in English, you are training your brain. Every time you try a sentence, you are building confidence. Every time you listen, repeat, and practice, you are creating a stronger version of yourself. Your journey may feel slow at times, but slow steps are still steps forward. Never doubt that. Also, never compare yourself to others. Some people learn faster, some slower. Some have more resources, some fewer. But your journey is unique. Your path belongs to you, and your pace is exactly right for you. Celebrate your small victories. The first time you spoke to a stranger in English, the first time you understood a movie without subtitles, the first time you wrote a message without translation. These moments are proof that you are growing. Another important truth is this: your voice matters. Maybe you think your English is not good enough, but someone, somewhere, needs to hear your words. Maybe you will inspire a friend. Maybe you will help a stranger. Maybe you will open a door of opportunity for yourself. But none of this will happen if you stay silent. Speak, even if your voice shakes. Because silence teaches nothing, but speaking teaches everything. And when you feel tired or discouraged, remember why you started. Maybe you want a better job. Maybe you dream of traveling. Maybe you simply love the beauty of another language. Whatever your reason, let it remind you that every effort is worth it. English can change your world, but only if you continue walking this path with courage. So my final message is simple. Be brave, be patient, and be kind to yourself. Do not run away from mistakes. Run toward them. Do not hide your voice. Share it. Do not give up. Keep going. Your journey may be long, but the destination is full of possibilities. And one day, you will look back and realize that every small step, every mistake, every practice session brought you here. To fluency, to confidence, to freedom, your voice is waiting. Use it.